All boats have much in common. Before you set out, make sure yours is seaworthy. If you have a trailer boat, it is wise to check it before you leave home. And if you do detect any problem, fix it before you get to the water. Before operating any switches, check for fuel or LPG odors. Fix any faults immediately. Is the engine working properly? Test your outboard using a hose and freshwater cooling. Check fuel, oil, and also your coolant levels, if applicable. Fuel should be fresh, not last year's. Ensure you have enough. A third to get there, a third to get back, and a third in reserve. Inspect the battery and terminal connections. Top up if necessary. Charge your battery prior to your trip so you can be sure of starting up again out at sea. The most common problem for calling Coast Guard for help is flat batteries. The engine may start okay at the ramp, but after a few hours fishing, it fails. Check your battery with hydrometer or battery tester regularly, and replace it if the cells are weak. Ensure that the steering cables and connections are working well. Make sure that your lights are working, even if you do intend to be back before dark. Take the essential tools and spare parts appropriate for your boat. Check that you have a suitable anchor, and that your anchor chain and rope are long enough for the depth and terrain you will be fishing in. If your boat is already in the water, inspect the bilge before you start the motor. This makes certain that you are not taking in water or have fuel or LPG gas fumes. What you take depends on how many are on board, their personal needs relating to their age and health, the weather possibilities, and how long you might be on the water if something goes wrong, the design of your boat, and how much protection it gives the people on board against the elements. And the sun can be stronger. 15 plus or higher sunscreen to protect everyone from sunburn and windburn is a must. Wear hats which keep the direct sun off your face, neck and ears, as the sun's reflection off the water can be particularly dangerous to your skin and eyes. A hat with dark colour under the brim is much safer than with white underneath. Don't forget your sunglasses. Take the appropriate clothes to keep everyone warm and dry if you're caught out after dark or bad weather. If you're in an open boat, be careful to store the extra clothes in a dry place or in a waterproof bag or container so they are dry when you need them. Take enough to eat and drink to keep up your strength if the return is delayed. As at home or in the car, an up-to-date first aid kit is a very wise precaution. Make sure you have all the safety equipment on board before you go, and make sure everyone on board knows where it is and how to use it. The minimum safety equipment varies according to the type and size of your vessel. The Safe Boating Booklet is an essential guide to help and is free. Personal flotation devices or life jackets are the most important piece of safety equipment on any vessel. Life jackets must be approved, be the correct size for the person wearing it, and there must be one for each passenger on board, and they must always be worn in a number of circumstances. When there is any heightened risk, examples are crossing bars, rough water for the boat, non-swimmers in smaller boats, PWCs, and if alcohol has been consumed. when being towed, such as water skiing, and wakeboards, on being towed in a dinghy or ski biscuit at more than 5 knots. At any time the skipper may deem necessary. It is also worth remembering that a safety harness is sometimes the best option. Life jackets must be easily accessible and thus taken out of their packaging, and everyone on board should know how to put them on. When choosing a life jacket or PFD for a child, make sure it fits. All smaller vessels need a bailer or manual pump. Larger vessels should have efficient bilge pumping arrangements and buckets with lanyards attached. Small vessels need paddles or oars in case the motor fails. All vessels should have a waterproof torch or lantern in working order. Make sure the batteries are not low before you go. Carrying a spare battery is a wise precaution. If you have fuel or a cooker, always carry a fire extinguisher. All vessels should have a suitable anchor with the appropriate chain and length of rope attached for the area and depth of water you will encounter. The equipment carried will depend on the size of the boat and the areas where you go. A real helpful list is included in the book Safety in Small Craft. There are other things the sensible boat operator would want to have on board to enhance safety, confidence and enjoyment. For example, a first aid kit, drinking water and a marine radio.
Hey boys! And they say real men don't need life jackets. Look out for your mates. Look after yourself. Wear your life jacket.
Strong winds bring dangerous seas. An invitingly calm sea can quickly become very frightening after a sudden change in the weather, and can develop within minutes if the wind comes up. Waves larger than the boat was designed to handle are a major cause of accidents and drowning. Never, ever go out in the water without knowing the weather forecast. If in doubt, don't go out. It is so easy to have the latest marine forecast and is available from any of the following sources. VHF Marine Radio are regular broadcasts and are free on request. Phone your area 0900 number for your area. Fax 0900 77 999. The Internet. Public radio stations. Teletext. Coast Guard radio. Many areas are covered by a continuous Coast Guard forecast on VHF channel 20, 21 or 23. Newspapers, however, can soon be out of date. When at sea, listen to weather forecasts on the public or marine radio, or check with your cell phone. Keep your eye on the sky. Beware of rapidly darkening or lowering cloud. Squalls may not be far away. Head for shelter or for home.
Great day for it. 25 knots to Saba.
Just a bit of wind, mate. We're going fishing.
Yeah, but 25 knots is nearly 50 k's, Jim.
We're off.
The marine forecast says there's 3 metre swells out there. You still keen?
3 metres.
Look at that.
Get to know the marine forecast. Any doubts? Don't go out.